So I'm going to go pull a list by country of data from a random website, and then I'm going to link that up to a shapefile that has countries on it. So first I'm going to download a countries shapefile for GIS. This same thing can be done for states of the US, or provinces of Canada, or provinces of Australia, or whatever it is. So we're going to go to Natural Earth data that we already looked at to get a country file. I'm going to get a cultural file from the largest data scale of countries. I'm going to download that. And I'm going to save it in a nice place. Okay. And I'm going to go into a new ArcMap. And I'm going to drop that country data in. Okay. Great. So then I'm going to look at the table, and I'm going to assess what I need is one record per country, basically, which can be dicey if you have islands and things. That's the first complication. The second complication is that a lot of times countries have different owners, basically, at different levels. See, like the UK, right? There's the United Kingdom, then there's like the different England and Scotland within the United Kingdom. But you can see sovereignty usually would have something like the United Kingdom, and then admin level 1 would have like the country name of England. But anyway, what we really wanted to see was, are there duplicates? It looks okay. Good enough for me. So we're going to use this admin level 1 just because I know that's going to work. If we have the country code, that's going to be a lot easier, because all we need to do is we need to get a list that has the same exact name as it is, either the full name of the country or the code, the abbreviation. And then we can just tell it, hey, slot the data in, because what we want is a file that has our data. Say it was marine strandings by country, right? And we had like there's 50 in this country, 100 in this country, 300 in this country, but it's not linked up to GIS data. We would have to go in and basically make sure it had the correct country name, so it linked in, and then do a join, and then data would pop in as another column here, and then we could symbolize the map based on that data. Anyway, we'll go through it. Maybe it'll make a little bit more sense what I'm talking about. So we're not going to try to fix up the country names. We're just going to go with what we get here for this one. And I'll tell you what that means in a second. So this is the first step, getting your shape file. I think it's a shape file. The next step is getting a list of things you want to look at from online. So let's do number of, anybody have any ideas? Number of somethings per country? Point source, no, let's say pollution. Number of, how do they measure it? CO2 emissions again? Let's just do that, CO2 emissions, yeah, by country. Okay. I already see they're starting to give me a list here. Let's see if I can. Okay, here is a random website, and here's a list that I can grab offline to put onto a map, right? So this is good. We have a country name, and we have a other piece of data that we'd like to have in our shapefile, which doesn't exist currently. These are only the top countries, but that's fine. You know, we'll just link up the top ones, and we'll try to get a map out of it. A lot of times you're not going to have a complete data set, which is also fine. So I'm going to just copy and paste all this into an Excel file. Be careful you only copy the data that's in the table. Basically any table online is usually like this unless it's an image of a table, which you'll find out because you won't be able to select the individual things. So I can go and make a new Excel file. And I'll help you with this if we get here. This is to show you it's possible, or kind of show you what the process looks like. You can right click and just paste values. And from any table online, Excel will know how to put it into like a table format. So basically, if you select the top and you go to home and you do wrap, it will put those words nice and easier to read. But this is all you got to do in Excel, really. I guess the only other thing is you got to put shorter names in because the shapefile is going to truncate them down to 8 characters. So you'd want to do like rank. Total. Oh, that's per. All right, so it's total and then it's per capita. So we just do total CO2 maybe, and then per cap CO2. Does everybody know what per capita means? It's just per person. So they, if a country has a ton of people, they should be ranked differently on how much CO2 emissions they have because they have so many people that it makes sense that they have a lot more. So you kind of want to normalize, like take that out of the equation and compare. So anyway, I'm going to save this Excel file, and you can see all it is just a list of country names. And I'm going to put it somewhere. Natural Earth data. CO2. Okay, so the first thing is to look at. See, already you can tell we have United Kingdom, so it might not match on the one I was looking at. But basically what you'd want to do before you do this is to make sure it's going to match. So you have your table here, and you have your names of things, and you'd really want to. And we won't do this. I'm just saying this is going to be the cause of data not joining up. If you have that one and you have this one, you want to make sure these names are exactly the same, right? So like Australia, there's one Australia in here, and there's one over here, and they're spelled exactly the same. I can tell. Australia is going to link up. Some others might not. But we'll just assume they're going to link up for now. Let's just do it on sovereignty because they had United Kingdom. And I think that is actually, yeah. Oh, I guess United Kingdom's in this one too. All right, well, anyway, we'll just do sovereignty. So then what we can do is right-click on our country file or whatever file we have. Do a join. Join based on... that's why we kept talking about which field it was going to be based on. So we'll do sovereignty. We'll go find that Excel file. Oh, forgot. Okay. It can't read Excel files anymore, so you have to save this as a CSV, which is just a type of table. Basically, it's like an Excel file. You can just do file, save as, CSV. It's just one of these types, comma delimited, .csv. Save and close. Okay. So now if I do join, sovereignty. Yeah, I know. And then you can see my CSVs here. I just saved it. And it knew that the country was the field I could link up to, but sometimes you have to pick it. And you can do validate join. So this will tell you how many records joined and how many didn't. So 22 matched. And I can see if I look back at that Excel file, how many should have matched. 22 is pretty good. I didn't think. Let's see, yeah. 20. 22 is surprising that. Oh, okay. So that means that a couple of these got matched twice. So there are duplicates in the GIS file, but no big deal. I think all of them match, which is great. So I can say great, thank you, okay, and then we can see that if I go to the right now, I have these new fields that I just added. So the per capita CO2. If I sort by that, you can see all that data from the internet is now in there, and I can symbolize my map by it. So let's just say I wanted to do categories or quantities, I guess. And I go to the bottom, I'm per capita CO2, and there are my countries and their rank. And if I wanted to copy and paste this below it, just so I can have a gray outline of the countries so it didn't look funny. I just have the countries like that. So that's like a pretty okay map, you know? And that's just random website data on our map. There's extra steps involved, like you can see that some of them were duplicated because, yeah, see, United Kingdom, just what we expected. There's actually two, I think it's going to be Scotland and England, things that are named the United Kingdom. So it's actually, or maybe Northern Ireland. Let's go over to the, the Falkland Islands. Oh, I was wrong. It's actually Falkland Islands, which are way down by Australia, I think, or South America, I'm sorry. Yeah, so see, this got selected because United Kingdom owns the Falkland Islands, so it always messes you up by having this extra stuff on there. So you want to go down to the lowest level of, ownership, basically. That's a good example. Good enough for me.